I've often said this on the show, haven't you? That basically how the monarchy moves forward, and not necessarily sometimes in a good way. Let's be honest, we don't agree with everything that they do or indeed say or put out. But you don't realise how it's moving forward because obviously they do it very slowly, very cautiously. And when you think, of course, of our late and brilliant monarch, Queen Elizabeth II, many people often contact me on the channel, in comments and stuff, and say how much they miss the Queen. And I do, and you can imagine, I'm sure it's that like for many people living throughout the world, in particular the United Kingdom, the Commonwealth, see her image everywhere, don't you, literally, and you forget that she's gone because she's so alive in the present. That's because, of course, she had an unprecedented reign for 70 years. What's fascinating, I find, though, is, of course, at the latter part of her reign, there were sort of many things hidden away, and that's that lady's prerogative. And what's happening now, of course, is that King Charles III, our king, well, he's a totally different kettle of fish. Let me explain. Morning, nice to see you, chums. Thank you so much for your time today. It's true though, isn't it? As I said, good and bad things. We like certain things. The Easter message didn't go down well at all, but then something like this happens, which happened last night in Buckingham Palace, the very heart of London. The community-based cancer support group held a reception alongside, of course, His Majesty the King, Queen Camilla, and in a surprise visit, good chum of mine, Sarah Ferguson, right? Fergie, she's affectionately known. And people forget that she too has had her own cancer battle, not just once, but twice. And, often said this, it's very important to get this point out. Obviously, she's flame-haired, red-haired, and I'm fair-haired. And we're always told, particularly fair-skinned people, we have to be more, vigilant when you're out and about in the sun. Hence the reason I always look like Casper the Ghost, because I never want to get caught in it. Love the sun, but it can be dangerous. And there are many other forms, I understand that. But what was really revealing, I felt, was His Majesty the King's message in the letter, which was given to all the people attending that wonderful reception. It was nice to find that, and I don't mean this in an unkind way, but clearly, like he points out, he was incredibly nervous because suddenly somebody's telling him something that he has no control over, which happens to every single person who goes through the same thing. And I thought the message that he put out was so eloquent, so positive, and gave a lot of hope. And of course, he didn't make it about himself. He made it about a lady who, without a doubt, has been an inspiration for many people of her generation and beyond. Of course, the difficult problem is that, then you are there. And as he pointed out in his speech, suddenly, it doesn't matter what people say, there's the moment when the door closes and you have to gather your own thoughts. His positivity is that keep working, keep moving, and remain as positive as you can. And I go back to the start of the video. What I'm saying by that is that Her Majesty the Queen would never have really, it's just her generational thing, would never have openly shared something so open like that. Her generation was, yes, you have a problem, it's dealt with privately, and you just carry on working. In the fullness of time, you tell the public. But basically she didn't want to alarm, upset or frighten people. King Charles feels totally differently and believes that transparency and honesty are the keys to keeping the monarchy modern. I'd love to know what you think in this particular instance. Is he right to be like that? Or I'd love to know what you think to this particular story. Do you think he's right to do that in this particular instance? Or should it, of course, remain behind closed doors? For me, I thought he did a wonderful, speech. I think it's lovely that he invited all of those people into Buckingham Palace. And it was also wonderful to see Sarah Ferguson looking so well. Forget what's going on behind the scenes. Health is the #1 priority. I think every chum who watches our wonderful channel here will agree. Am I right? Neil Sean, Kensington, London.